New videos every day.
Hi, my name is Anna Miller, and I'm founder and CEO of the Depression Project. And today I am joined by Michael Wolf. Welcome, Michael. Glad to have you.
Anna, we're so glad to be here.
This is wonderful. So, Michael, let's introduce yourself first for the camera, and then we'll get to work here.
Sure, I'd be happy to. My name is Michael Wolf, and I'm the CEO of Empowering Now, LLC. We are a firm which empowers leaders and visionaries to receive, develop, and maintain the state of mind where all things are possible.
Sounds very intriguing. Let's go back a ways, though. Let's start this story. The work of the Depression Project is to liberate the world from depression, one person at a time, by focusing on what works. And there's no question that Michael's offering is something that absolutely works. And in order to make more of a connection with the viewers, let's start with where you've been and how depression has affected your life personally.
Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Well, first of all, depression affected me in quite a significant way. Although, if I look back at it, I would not have been able to admit it as I was going through it. And for me, my story began in the mid-'80s when my best man died after my bachelor party.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually, it was at my bachelor party. And from that point, what happened for me was I buried a lot of guilt. I buried a lot of unexpressed emotions. And what occurred was I put my energy really into pretending that it never happened. And I became very successful in the outer world in the sense that I spent 20 years in corporate America. Mm-hmm. And what that looked like was I was Johnny on the spot. I was a very successful leader in business, making a lot of money, but on the inside I was just a complete mess. And the way that showed up for me was in addiction. I had, I can't think of anything that I wasn't really addicted to. And the way that manifest was really not able to face my own demons. And that got worse and worse over a number of years to the point to where I was at the end of the road. I had a lot of experience with escaping I couldn't explain it to you verbally. I had no tools to really express it. So I was the master pretender. I pretended everything was okay. I pretended that I was this excellent father. I pretended when I went into sales calls that everything was happy. But the addiction was the only real liberation for me that gave me a momentary and non-sustainable release from the real disgust that I had for myself. I took on a lot of that grief, and as I look back at it now, I can see how I blamed myself for a lot of that and was really looking to prove that I was worthy. And it took a toll on me.
Yeah. And so you were a true corporate citizen, which, makes me giggle, because to meet you now, that's not my experience of you. You were very aligned and very centered and very present in who you are. And so what happened? I mean, how did you turn a corner in all of this?
Well, my experience was fairly unique, I would say. But the way it unfolded was I had an experience, and it was I can only describe it as a spiritual experience for me. It was something that altered the course of my life in a very significant way. And it happened, of all things, while I was getting a massage. And this massage just really, it created a momentary connection to a field of energy that I can only describe as love. And what occurred was I knew that there was more to life. There was a sense that my whole life had been viewed from the perspective of the material world. And after this experience, there was a knowing that there was more to life. And so once that seed was planted, the rest of my path unfolded. I began to, from that point forward, really dedicate my life to understand the nature of healing for myself.
Yeah.
To know how to sustainably be in a place where I could be beyond those deep, dark patterns that had ruled my life for so long. And so that was how it began. Just from an experience from a massage which planted a seed for me.
Yeah, it's a key word you use quite a bit, and that is the word sustainable. It's one I use with the Depression Project, which is helping people find sustainable mental well-being, not just a temporary fix or something that works for a week or a month or even a year, but something that really transforms your life,
Right.
so that you're no longer even identified with whatever it was and wherever it was that you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you have a technology that we're going to let you share about here in just a minute. As a lead-in into that, I mean, you've healed your own life. You sit here today, and would you say that you are healed or healing, or how would you even talk about that? How does depression show up for you now?
Well, what I can say, and the best way for me to answer that question, Anna, is to say that I have no complaints whatsoever.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty wonderful.
Another way of saying that is that I have everything that I want, and I want everything that I have. So
Beautiful.
If there's more to be done, I'm completely in a place of acceptance to take the path, to listen to what is the feedback from the environment. And that happens. We have an outer world, or what appears to be an outer world, that brings us many opportunities to, we can use the term wake up, brings us opportunities to transcend. Whatever it is, the story that we seem to be stuck in. And believe me, I know what it feels like to be stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, my diagnosis at the time was adult attention deficit disorder. I've taken medication. I've attempted non-prescription medication. I've attempted, as I mentioned earlier, many other forms that were non-sustainable. And my experience today tells me that the path into the darkness is where we retrieve the light. It's by willing to be in that space where I'm uncomfortable, to really do the navigation through my own consciousness, where I find the pearls of wisdom that give me the knowing, because I've done the work.
Yeah.
I've done the work, and every day when I make a mistake, how I feel is my feedback for where I perhaps have another area to grow, another opportunity.
Yeah, there's really, for people that have depression in all its faces. I mean, depression is such a big word, and it has many, many different faces. Work is no stranger. It's work to stay in the darkness and stay with that. Yeah. It's work to seek a pathway out of hell, and everything looks bad when you're there. Mm-hmm. And that kind of motion of putting one foot in front of the other, boy, did that used to make me angry. Mm-hmm. To think about that was what there was to do, and that I couldn't get rid of it, and I had to be with it. And my own experiences is that the resistance is what kept me there a lot longer.
Absolutely. So in that sense, the resistance served you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how did you do it, Michael? And more specifically, the end part. I know there's you really have experientially your PhD in seeking healing and consciousness. And now you've stumbled upon what is your offering back to the world.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Thank you. Let me start by making a couple of comments about what I've tried.
Okay, great.
Because you're right. I do have a School of Hard Knocks PhD. And that School of Hard Knocks looked at virtually every healing modality that has been available. I went into the field of holistic healing and studied natural systems for awakening the body's ability to heal itself. I'm a certified stress management specialist working with biofeedback technologies, which actually scan the physical body and look for stress within the body. I am a licensed spiritual health coach. I've studied virtually all of the systems of theology and religion on the planet to understand the link between the spiritual path and the metaphysical healing path, and also with an eye towards how conventional systems really only focus at the level of the physical. So my search through all of the modalities, and I'm not going to list all of them, but I can tell you that it's quite extensive, has been to look at all of the modalities in order to come to a system that's final. Yeah. Something that can actually guarantee a person, if they're ready for this kind of solution, to be beyond all suffering.
Mm.
And that's what led to the launch of what we now have as a technology of awakening, a technology of really natural exploration of the shadow of depression that we call the path of XPR, and it's being launched by Empowering Now. And one description or one way to consider this is that it doesn't happen overnight. There's not a magical pill. There's not a magical remedy.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen because of me. It's going to happen because of you and your willingness to actually show up one day after the next day and to take the path that we put forward. And if you're willing to do so, the path will deliver results. And we do that through, I guess the best way to describe it would be a practical decoding of mysticism.
Mm.
You know, mysticism is viewed today by many as a woo-woo path or something that is, only for the intellectuals.
Mm.
But properly applied mysticism is very practical because life is symbolic. There are symbols every day, everywhere we go. And part of our task as human beings, I believe, is to really learn to read the symbols.
Yeah.
And to be willing to take the messages that are constantly there, inviting us to awaken to our full potential. And that can't really exist until we've been done. We're ready to be done with the darkness. We're really ready to take the steps. And when we are ready, guess what? Those symbols will show up. I promise you. That is a promise to each of you. If you're willing to watch the symbols and you're willing to step through what it takes, you are guaranteed that you will receive everything that you need in order to come to a place of liberation. Now, we've structured a path and a set of offerings which include courses from an introductory course all the way up to full one-on-one assistance that's being offered through a global network of coaches that are implementing this technology everywhere in order to bring it into businesses, into families, into clinics as a mainstream solution to a very large global problem.
That's wonderful. And so, Michael, if people want to get connected with you and connected with the XPR path, how do they do that?
Thank you, Anna. You can go to empoweringnow.com, and we have a number of free offerings on our site.
Wonderful.
We have free teleclasses that if someone can register for and listen to a 1-hour intro and actually experience some of this work for free of charge and decide, is this teaching methodology, is this content right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Experience is most certainly what we promote is a way of looking at things. And of course, I have found for myself that this work certainly offers something in terms of new listening and new seeing for those that are interested in doing it. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your heart today, Michael. And any final words you have for the viewers?
2 things.
Yes.
I had a close friend that shared with me I don't know who it was exactly that shared these with me, but 2 things. Number 1 is inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, things are hard. That's number 1. And number 2, when you're walking through hell, do not build a house.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
If you liked this video, we have hundreds of more alternative videos ranging from sexual health to psychology to mind control. So if you liked it, go ahead and click on me to enter the Psychetruth channel.